Good evening, friends. Use of grammar is so complex that even if you learn every day a new rule or new uses of grammar, it is not enough. So, it is important that we should always keep distinguishing between the minute uses of grammatical items, and that is possible only when we are practicing grammar and the uses simultaneously in day to day life. Why? Because the accuracy of language leads to perfection of expression. So, in this series, we are discussing confusing words in the use of adjective that we often come across. One is later, another one is latter. Later, and the second spelling is latter. Later, later, later is also the comparative of late, later, and it is used in the sense of coming after something else. That means in the time of the future, this is used just as the next, later, first, second, the later one out of the two. And latter, actually in this is order, it is latter is in order. The latter is used in the sense of the second of the two. Out of the two, the second one is latter. The first one, the former, the latter. So, when we are talking about later, later, it may refer to time also. We are talking about time also. Like he met her again 3 years later. That means he met her after 3 years the second time. First time he had met her some time ago, and the second time he met her, after 3 years. So we can say that he met her again 3 years later. His father died later than year. C later became a doctor, and latter LATTR. That means the second of the two. He presented two solutions. The latter seems much better. The town has a concert hall and two theaters. The latter were built in 1955. Now, in the second confusing words are latest and last. Latest is the superlative form of late, 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 later, latest. But the meaning is just different. Latest means the recent, the most recent. The latest news that we read yesterday was about the violence that was on 26th January. This is the latest news, like that. So it is latest means the most recent, and last means the last on the row. That means now after that there is no other. Like the last girl in the class is sitting on the last bench. This is the latest book on science. This is the latest news on television. This is the last chance for you to appear in an examination. So this is there. Now we are coming across certain, error in the use of adjective, so that it will be better to clarify where the mistakes come. Like, let us see, he saw two men. The one was lame, the another was blind. Actually, one always comes with other, one other. We can't say one another. And here, when we are just comparing between the two, certainly it will be one and the other. So he saw the two men, the one was lame and the other was blind. We can't use another here. We will use other, one and other. We saw two men, the one was lame and the other was blind. The second question, Syama is more beautiful than any girl in the class. Whenever we are writing a comparative degree or an adjective in comparative form, we have to write any other or all other. Any other will be followed by a singular noun, and all other will be followed by a plural noun. So here the error is Syama is more beautiful than any other girl in the class. Actually, when we are using singular, any other girl, we are comparing Syama to all other girl. So we can either write Syama is more beautiful than any other girl in the class, or Syama is more beautiful than all other girls in the class. So when you are using all other, there will be plural noun, girls. And when you are using any other, then that will be singular. So Syama is more beautiful than any other girl in the class. Whenever you write a comparative degree of the adjective, always write any other or all other. Yeah, next one. The population of China is greater than India. Actually, we are comparing the population of China to that of India. So we will have to use that. So the because we are comparing the population of the two countries. So the right answer is the population of China is greater than that of India. That here stands for population of India. Therefore, we have to use, I mean, a pronoun that will stand for the noun population. So the population of China is greater than that of India. That of India. Then I have finished reading a few books that I had. Actually, a few means some, and the few means hardly any, one or two. So whenever you use this kind of sentence, use the few. I have finished reading the few books I had. Here it shows that you did not have many. You have limited one, two or three. Then the girls were introduced to each other by mutual friend. The girls here, whenever we are referring to more nouns, more than two nouns, here girls means we are not limiting to two only. Had it been a case of two girls only, like the two girls quarreled with each other, that is right. But when you are referring to a plural noun like girls, so then you will have to use, one another. The girls were introduced to one another. Each other is used only in the case of two. One another is used in the case of more than two. So the right answer is the girls were introduced to one another by a mutual friend. Then bring her any water to drink. Bring her any water. A water doesn't precede with any. Bring her some water. Actually, any is always having some negative sense. Some is positive sense. Bring her some water to drink. Don't say. Any is often used in interrogative or in negative. Like, have you got any paper to write with? Have you got any pen to write with? So here any is either in interrogative or in negative, but some is in positive. So give her some water to drink. That is the right answer. And the last question, your written statement differs in several important respects from my verbal statement. Yes, your written statement differs in several important aspects from my differs from my, so it will immediately come after the differs. Your statement differs from that of mine. Your statement differs from that of my verbal statement. And this is the last question. Yes, I noticed that he had a couple of drinks too much. Couple is actually countable, so you can't use couple here. I noticed that he had a cup of drinks too much. Of the two girls, she was certainly the most beautiful. No, she was certainly the more beautiful. When you are using or when you are comparing two nouns, then use the comparative. So, of the two girls, she was the instead of most, you write more. She was more beautiful. Of the two girls, she was the more beautiful one. Of the two books, this is the cheaper one. This is the cheaper one. Or give me the cheaper of the two books. This is the better of the two, I mean, clothes. I want the better of the two clothes. So whenever you are comparing between two, always use comparative. Of the two girls, she was certainly the more beautiful one. And when you are comparing more than two, then use this most. I mean, many more most. And before the superlative degree, use the. Like, this is the best, I mean, offer that the shopkeepers are giving nowadays. This is the best offer while you are buying a cell phone. She is, I mean, the better of the two players. She is the better of the two players. Whenever you are comparing between two, use the comparative form, and whenever you are using more than two objects or more than two nouns, use the superlative of that. Thank you. Have a nice day.